Before this video begins, I would just like to thank everyone so much for the amazing support the very first episode had. I think well over 600 views, and now we're at 90 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for everything. It's been a joy. Now, before we begin, I would like to ask everyone to please like and subscribe and leave a comment. I love seeing your comments. I absolutely love interacting with you guys. And please stay till the end for the audio logs from Nate. Thank you so much again for watching the first video, and I really hope you enjoy this one. I put so much more work into this one. After seeing the reception, I sat down and was like, I have to genuinely edit this. I have to put in a bunch of stuff. So thank you so much, and please enjoy this episode.
I'm coming, buddy.
Oopsie. No. Fingers away. There we go. Okay. Just say it. Right there. Right there. Yay. Hi, honey. Listen, I don't think that Sean and I need to tell you how great of a father you are. But we're going to anyway. Isn't that right? You are kind and loving and funny. That's right. And patient. So patient. Patience of a saint, my mom used to say. Look, with Sean and us all being home together, it's been an amazing year. But even so, I know our best days are yet to come. There'll be changes, sure. Things we need to adjust to. You'll rejoin the civilian workforce, and I'll shake the dust off my law degree. But everything we do, no matter how hard, we do it for our family. Now, say goodbye, Sean. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Come on. Bye, honey. We love you.
She can't be dead. She can't be. I'm in a dream. I'm in a bad dream.
I'm forgiving you, Sean!
Nate has a terrible nightmare of seeing Nora again. Seeing what happened to her and Sean. Nate is going to probably see that every time he closes his eyes for the next good while. It's unbelievably traumatic, and it's one reason why I find the Soul Survivor extremely inspiring as a character, because this extreme traumatic event happens at the very beginning of their journey, and now they have to go off and find their son. And for Nate, it's hard, but he has to dig deep to just push himself, to keep himself going as hard as he possibly can. Here I wanted Nate to stop and think about looting a body, but he eventually comes to the conclusion that this is going to be a different kind of survival, a much longer and a much dirtier kind than what he had to experience in the army. And so every little thing is going to help him, and he absolutely realizes that.
Hey, boy. What are you doing out here all by yourself? You lose your owner, buddy? Okay, then. Let's stick together.
Here, I think it's pretty obvious that Nate would take in dog meat. Not only is dog meat just absolutely adorable, but Nate used to own a dog and is clearly a dog lover. So I think that it's absolutely fair to say that he would take in dog meat pretty much no hesitation just from how friendly dog meat is. So here, Nate is making a safe haven for himself, basically a rest stop on his long journey. While he doesn't know how long it's gonna be, we roughly do have the idea. So Nate is going to be building these small little rest stops here and there. He's going to make sure that, you know, he doesn't throw his neck out a bit too far. He's a soldier, so he knows exactly what it's like to be exhausted on the field or in the middle of battle. He knows, you know, how much of a killer something like hunger and thirst is, so it's very much on top of his priorities. He knows the basics and a bit more of survival, and so he's somewhat uniquely in a good position for the Wasteland and for starting out. That's also one reason why I chose Nate over Nora. On top of that, later coming up the Battle for Concord and just power armor training in general, I rather like the idea of Fallout having power armor training. It just kind of makes sense to me, kind of like how there's Mjolnir training in Halo, where, not just anyone can put on the suit. And so I personally see that, no, Nora would not be able to use power armor because she doesn't have training. Now, I know that some people have put in some speculation saying that, oh, well, Nate could have just taught her. A gun, I can see that. Power armor? To my knowledge, in the Fallout universe, power armor is not a civilian thing at all on any level. And I forget if Fallout has any different cases of legality in terms of weaponry for civilians. Obviously, nowadays in the US, freaking everyone owns a gun or something. But power armor is not the same as a gun. Power armor, especially in the Fallout universe, is extremely recent from before the Great War. Very secretive, almost entirely military use. I think, like, with the addition of Fallout 4, I think we got some lore pushing in that, like, it had only just begun being, like, a construction thing, or, like, starting to push into civilian sectors, but it's not a very familiar enough thing in the universe where power armor training could be given to Nora. I just don't think that's very viable. On top of that here, I actually did want to mention that I actually went back because of this comment, and I'll show the comment on screen. I actually went back and I changed the specials for Nate, and later on in the video towards the end, I'll talk about like why I did this, and why I had the opportunity specifically to do this and didn't just keep going. Towards the end of the video, there's going to be a lot more narration as I'm going to go over a lot of the behind facts, behind the production of this video, and the gameplay and everything. And it especially rides on Fallout 4's stability, which just from here I will say has given me a lot of issues. But for now, I'll let it go, since we should be getting to Concord somewhat soon.
Don't think I can pick this.
Up here, on the balcony. I've got a group of settlers inside. The raiders are almost through the door. Grab that laser musket and help us, please!
No more British occupation!
Back to England with you.
You lost the back name!
Have your tea back, you
Fucking
jackanapes! Back to your homes. Go
taxation without representation. Let's send these freaks back to London, boys.
No sign of him now.
Come on, Dawes. Your rights are one handcuff and add-ons.
Hey,
King's regulars are coming out.
out for the others, like we're supposed to.
What are you, deaf? Somebody's out there shooting the place up. I ain't sitting around waiting to die.
I swear to God, you make them think you can hide? I'm coming in there, and I'm gonna skin every last one of you!
Come on, man. They ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to deal with.
You hear that? I gotta go take a little walk, but I'll be back, and you'll be dead. Get some, motherfucker!
Come on.
Man, I don't know who you are, but your timing's impeccable. Preston Garvey, Commonwealth Minutemen.
Glad to help.
Nope.
Well, if that's true, we could use some more goodwill. As you can see, we're in a bit of a mess here.
God damn it.
The world's changed so much. None of this makes sense.
You all right? Listen, we need your help. And then maybe we can help you, huh? What brought you out here?
My son Sean's been kidnapped. He's not even a year old.
That's messed up. I'm sorry. I know how this world can be. A month ago, there were 20 of us. Yesterday, there were 8. Now we're 5. First, it was the ghouls in Lexington, and now this mess.
Ghouls? What are ghouls?
Wow. You really aren't from around here, are you? Ghouls are irradiated people. Most are just like you and me. They look pretty messed up and live for a long time, but they're still just people. The ones I'm talking about are different. The radiations rotted their brains, made them feral. They'll rip you apart just as soon as look at you. Anyway, we figured Concord would be a safe place to settle. Those raiders proved us wrong. But, well, we do have one idea.
Will it be enough to stop those maniacs?
Sturgis, tell him.
There's a Crashed Vertibird up on the roof. Old school, pre-war. You might have seen it. Well, looks like one of its passengers left behind a seriously sweet goodie. We're talking a full suit of cherry T-45 power armor. Military issue.
I like it.
Yeah, I thought you might. Protection with an added bonus. Get the suit. You can rip the minigun right off the Vertibird. Do that, and those raiders get an express ticket to hell. You dig?
Minigun. Now we're talking.
I know, right? Only there's one hitch. The suit's out of juice. Probably been dry for 100 years. It can be powered up again. But we're a bit stuck.
So, what's the solution?
What you'll need is an old pre-war FC, a standardized fusion core, your high-grade, long-term nuclear battery used by the military and some companies way back when. And we know right where to find one.
But we can't get to the damn thing. It's down in the basement, locked behind a security gate. Look, I fix stuff. I tinker. Bypassing security ain't exactly my forte. You could give it a shot.
Can't be too hard. I'll see what I can do.
Well, all right. Maybe our luck's finally turning around. Once you jack the core into the power armor and grab that minigun, those raiders will know they picked the wrong fight. Good luck.
Hell yeah. Ma'am.
You're not what I expected dog meat would find in that little neighborhood. But oh, so much better.
So, he's your dog?
Aw, he ain't my dog. No, sir. Dog meat, he's what you call his own man. You can't own a free spirit like that. But he chooses his friends and sticks with them. He'll stay by you now. I saw it.
You saw it?
It's the chems, kid. They give old Mama Murphy the sight. Been that way for as long as I can remember.
What's the sight?
I can see a bit of what was and what will be. And even what is right now. And right now, now. I can see there's something coming, drawn by the noise and the chaos. And it is angry.
What is it? Mama Murphy, I need more, please.
I'm sorry, kid, but I just don't know. The sight ain't always clear, but believe me when I tell you, it ain't a raider. But I'm tired now. And if I ain't mistaken, you've got a job to do.
Nate obviously sees Preston and his group with a large amount of sympathy and kind of that feeling of just wanting to like help them. For right now, Nate has a larger mission. Number one is getting out unscathed and surviving, and therefore helping the group. But his overall mission is still to find Sean. He's not really at the point where he's like, oh yeah, let's build up the wasteland and recreate society and all that. When it comes to Mama Murphy specifically, so Nate would probably know some of the more pre-war chems, being in the military, so there's a bit of that kind of like combat stim type stuff. So he would absolutely understand the dangers of chems and what that can do to someone. On top of that, being a pre-war person, he's not so open to the more supernatural parts of the Fallout universe and the Wasteland. And so Nate is going to be more naturally skeptic. And so I think for this, he's going to have Mama Murphy kind of like lay off the chems, especially with the failed charisma check, where she doesn't tell him what's coming. I think if she did tell him what's coming, he might be more inclined to give her at least jet. But definitely not like psycho and stuff like that. That would probably be a bit too far.
Got it. There we go.
Personal log. United States Army Staff Sergeant Michael Daly. This past Saturday, October 23rd, while en route to West Stockbridge, a vertibird crashed into the roof of this museum. The cause? EMP following nuclear detonation. Several, in fact. From the intel I've gathered, this was a global event. The pilot was killed on impact. Pilot died of his injuries a day later. Day after that, Flaherty and Canoa were shot by some scared, desperate survivors. Then Brzezinski took off running. Haven't seen him since. Now, it's my turn to go AWOL, if that concept even applies anymore. My armor's fusion core is burned out, so I guess my soldering days are done. I'm heading to Boston, on foot, to see if my sister survived all this. She's got an apartment on Boylston Street. This is Mike Daly, signing out. Good luck, and God bless America. Or what's left of it.
Up here. Boss, we got somebody up here.
Why don't you get down here? Show me that fancy gun up close. Not a lot of people could get past my boys. I give you that. Still waiting, asshole.
Battle for Concord is a major turning point for Nate's outlook on the Wasteland. At first, seeing the Raiders and fighting with the Raiders with Preston the very first time and clearing to him was rough. It took him back to Army days. But then the second wave of Raiders, led by Gristle, and then the Deathclaw really showed Nate that the Wasteland is savage and that there are monsters here. And, well, yes, war never changes, people do. Which is the second half of that quote, by the way. So, where does Nate go from here? Well, number one, he is going to go back and talk to Preston. But Nate really is going to look at this more as a one-man war if it continues to be this way, where it's just nothing but raiders. Nate has not left his pre-world beliefs behind. That's too much of a heel turn for any character unless they were already, at some level debased, which I don't see Nate and Nora being anywhere like that. While Nate did go into the army, it was out of lineage and legacy and a need to protect his family, not because he's a debased individual. So for now, Nate is going to have a much more hard-tracked mind, that he's going to be a lot more skeptical of people, that while he did find Preston and Preston's group as much more nice and appreciative, he was also attacked by 2 waves of raiders and now a monster from the wasteland. That is not going to leave someone who has not had their world be like this unshaken. While yes, he's been through war, that was away from home. He knew that at least someplace civilization existed, that there were kind people that he could sit down and talk to, and that was a very widespread and normalized thing. But now the wasteland, to him right now at least, is much, much less of that. Home is destroyed. These raiders are in his home, in the territory he would call home. So his entire outlook is going to start becoming a lot more cynical, I think. I think that's how his mind would go, how most people would go. They would become very cynical, very mean at the very opening of this exposure. It's not a very hopeful outlook.
That was a pretty amazing display. I'm just glad you're on our side.
The feeling's mutual, Preston.
You can never have too many friends. Not in the Commonwealth. Listen, when we first met, you said you were glad to help. Well, you did. And we owe you our lives. So here. It ain't much, but it's the best way I can say thank you.
What happens now?
For the longest time, Mama Murphy's had a vision of a place called Sanctuary. Some old neighborhood, but one we can make new again. Why don't you come with us? I could really use your help.
All right, Garvey. I'm in.
Oh, that's wonderful. But there's more to your destiny, isn't there? I've seen it, and I know your pain.
My destiny? What do you mean?
You're a man out of time, out of hope. But all's not lost. I can feel your son's energy. He's alive.
Where is my son? Where is Sean?
Oh, I wish I knew, kid. I really do. But it's not like I can see your son. I can just feel his life force, his energy. He's out there. And even I don't need the sight to tell you where you should start looking. The great green jewel of the Commonwealth. Diamond City. The biggest settlement around.
What's in Diamond City? Is Sean there?
Look, kid, I'm tired now. Maybe you'll bring me some chems later. The sight will paint a clearer picture.
No. Mama Murphy, we talked about this. That junk. It's gonna kill you.
Ah, shush, Preston. We're all gonna die eventually. We're gonna need the sight. And our new friend here, he's gonna need it too. Now let's get going. Sanctuary awaits.
All right, folks. Thanks to our friend here, it's safe to move out. We're heading for that place Mama Murphy knows about. Sanctuary. It's not far.
She knows about it? You mean she had one of her visions while she was stoned out of her gourd? And now you want us to just head out on another wild goose chase based on no better plan than Mama Murphy saw it?
It can hardly turn out any worse than...
Everybody just take it easy. We're all in this together, right? So Marcy, you got a better idea of what we should do next? Anybody? Well then, Sanctuary it is. Let's just hope it lives up to its name.
Come on, June, it's time to go.
Oh, okay.
Alright, so this is going to be the last commentary of the video. The next bits of audio coming from me are going to be Nate's personal logs. So they'll be put down in the chapters if you want to skip this part. It's just walking back to Sanctuary and me talking about some behind the scenes. Now, let's talk about those behind the scenes. So number one, this is still Fallout 4. I am a major Bethesda fan, but this has been the buggiest playthrough I have ever done. I've had to reset at least 10 times in total, and about 8 of those, I want to say, are from bugs. I nearly did it with this one, but I have just been so tired of re-recording and re-recording and re-recording again and again, and so I'm going to try to continue. Thankfully, it does work out a bit into the story narrative of Nate not staying at Sanctuary because he, does the bare minimum, but he's here to save his son, not, rebuild the wasteland. Not yet, at least. So, Codsworth, for some reason, is extremely buggy. After my very first attempt at recording this, which got very far, I got all the way to Wolfgang and Trudy, and I got killed, and I got reset really far back because I failed to save after the Battle of Concord. That sucked, but wasn't the end of the world. After that, though, I got killed by the Deathclaw, and because I had remembered to save,
Sturgis.
I did not have a far enough save back for when Preston and gang glitched out the next time, and because I had saved so far that time, I had to basically restart from the vault. On top of that, to get some additional recording. But Codsworth decided to bug out, and so I had to do a couple more restarts where Codsworth just would not cooperate. It took a good, I want to say maybe 5 minutes each time max to see whether or not Codsworth wanted to help me out, and whether or not I would die. And so that happened a good number of times, and I had to reset a good number of times, and I had to completely redo everything seen from the first video all the way to the end of this. Now, that wouldn't be that big of a deal if it wasn't for Preston glitching out at the very end of this video where we're walking back to Sanctuary, and he does not have his laser musket out, and he does not want to talk to me. This is a known bug, and the ways to fix it are to restart your save, restart your game and reinstall your game, or go out to somewhere far enough that deload Sanctuary, sleep, come back, which would be roughly Diamond City. And so I decided to pick the last one because Nate has to go to Diamond City anyways, and there's not much in Sanctuary left for him at this point. He's not going to build Sanctuary as some like Fortress City because he doesn't have the time. Or at least in his mind, he doesn't have the time. Of course, it's not a timed game. Every game since Fallout 2 has not been timed. So, Nate really, at this point, is like, okay, I've done the bare minimum. Time to go find Sean. And that's what we're going to stick with. I don't want to keep rambling, because the first version of this was about twice, almost 3 times this long. And so I think I will just end this little rant here with Nate's goals for the next episode. Is to make as much progress as possible, getting into Boston, getting as deep as he can into Massachusetts, and finding Sean, or at least finding a lead onto Sean. And so I think it'll be very interesting once we get into Diamond City, and Nate's outlook is going to start changing away from that cynic, and is like, wow, people are actually surviving up here. But then he starts learning, you know, the history, the sense, and everything. It's going to be very interesting to explore his character with all these new ideas. So please enjoy the incoming character logs. There are 3 of them, 2 of them for the making up for the first video, and a last one for this one and the events that have happened. So please enjoy those, and they all will be individually uploaded on my narration channel. There should be a little like YouTube bubble thing popping up here, and there should be the link in the description and the link on like my main channel page. So please enjoy the end of this video. Please enjoy the audio logs. Go check out the other the other channel if you have the time and you would like to. It would be so much appreciated. And just first and foremost, thank you so much for enjoying this video. I could not have done this without you guys. The support on the first one has been insane. I know I keep saying it, but it's been amazing. Thank you so much. If we can just keep that going, please feel free to leave a comment, to like, and subscribe if you really enjoy this content and you want to see more coming out. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to see you in the Wasteland again. October 23rd, 2077. The day the bombs fell. All was well here in Sanctuary. Codsworth took care of us as always. Checking on Sean, making the morning coffee. It was supposed to be a good day. My speech at the Veterans Hall was that night. Me and Nora were supposed to take a trip to the park. Then the bombs came. We ran into the vault, and we were safe. I just hope Codsworth was too. October 23rd, 2287. The man out of time. Why? Why would anyone do this? First, Nora and Sean are taken away from me, and everyone else in the vault is dead. Leaving the vault left me stunned, almost broken. The world outside just looks dead. But I can see it's still alive somehow. There are flowers blooming and the grass is still growing, but there's no one in sight. And from the vault door, Sanctuary looks dead. Arriving back in Sanctuary, it's in pieces, but it's still there. It's felt like only an hour since we were rushed into the vault, but everything is just in pieces, falling apart in front of me. I saw Codsworth still trimming the ledges outside of the house. That house I worked so hard for. He told me it's been 200 years. 200 years since I went into that vault. I can't believe it. We ran around the neighborhood and made sure it was safe. But I am still in shock. I took a moment to sit down in what remained of my old house. And there's just so much to do. So much to relearn. I guess this is my next war. To find my son. To survive whatever this is. I hope you're safe, Sean. I'm coming, buddy. October 25th, 2287. When freedom calls. Concord was more than I thought I was getting myself into. First it was these raider maniacs, and then this giant beast with horns and these giant claws. Me and Preston only barely took it down. How many more of these things were out in the world? Was it really this dangerous out there? What does the world fall into? Preston seemed to imply that at least the raiders were an issue. He didn't say much about the beast. But Preston and his Minutemen, or what's left of them, have been through so much. Is the world really this just uncaring? I can feel my time in the army coming back to me. I'll need everything I can get. Especially if I'm going to make it to Diamond City. And to find Sean. I helped Preston and his group back to Sanctuary and helped them set up the bare minimum. Food, water, beds. Sturgis helped show me the bases. But I can't stay. As much as I'd love to sit in Sanctuary and Just wait it all out. Preston was right about one thing. I need to get out into the wasteland. I have to find my way through Boston. No matter how dangerous it is.
Dun 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 dun.